Great team. Here we are, Portelli Racing, an elite Thoroughbreds. Looking at a few fillies and a few geldings we've got in work. This filly being Ferrari Girl. She's had a couple of runs back this preparation, and 2 runs were on wet tracks to start off with. Then she went to Newcastle just recently and took a great chance, but just didn't quite run out the solid 1200 in what was pretty strong company. We're going to give her one more run on the 25th at Bathurst. There's a 1200 metre fillies and mares made there, so fairly significant drop back in grade for her, and you'd have to think she'd be pretty competitive around Bathurst. Beaten around about 3 or 4 lengths I think last start at Newcastle, and she only got tired the last bit in what was a pretty handy race. So back in grade, and 1200 around Bathurst, she should be very hard to beat. She races up on the speed. Here is Premisphere, beautiful little mare. She's come back from a spell trial nicely at Warwick Farms, given an easy trial the other day, and she'll either run the 26th at Goulburn over 1,000 metres, or we'll keep her for the 31st at Warwick Farm. There's another 1,000 metre race there. She's been very competitive the last few starts before a spell in pretty strong company in town, and she's a good horse fresh, so watch her first up. Here is Capital Rain. He had a run the other day at Gosford. Very strong race on Saturday over 1,000 metres, and he's in on at Warwick Farm on Wednesday. There's an 1,100 metre race there for him, and drawn barrier 1, so hopefully that run last week's brought him on. He just got a little bit tired late, which is off the back of one trial, sort of half expected in that grade. So back to midweek, and he's going to sleep. There's 1,100, which just stretches him. 2 weeks later, there's another race at Warwick Farm again over 1,000. So he's drawn well. It's 1,000 metres and barrier 1 here on Wednesday. Just hoping it dries out a little bit. It does go better on top of the ground. So if we get a couple of good days, certainly it'll dry the track out and get the surface he likes. If it stayed or it rained again, we'd probably look to keep him for the race a fortnight later. So just keep an eye on the scratchings on Wednesday morning. Team coming to the camera right now is Takeover Artist. He is coming along really well. Ooh, he loves the camera. Probably try a couple of weeks' time, and looking forward to this preparation. He's a beauty, big strong fella, looks absolutely enormous, and we're in for a big prep, aren't we, fella? Hey? Bumped his nose the other day. He got a bump on his nose, but that's a long way from his legs. Hey, buddy. Miss 80's again, having a sleep. It's pretty common for this time of the day for them having a rest. They've been up since 3 o'clock this morning, and she's resting her legs. Trialled really well. The first trial at Kembla. Well, to save a few dollars, we decided just to give her a jump out at Warwick Farm over 800 metres on the course proper on Thursday, and then she'll be ready to head to the races after that. So I was planning on going out to Hawkesbury to trial her, but the cost of floating, strapper for the day, the nomination for trial can cost about $600 minimum for the day, where I can do the same thing here at Warwick Farm on Thursday, save a few bucks, only for fitness. She knows what she's doing now, and she'll be ready to race, and we'll get some information out to everyone straight after the jump out. So stay tuned, she's a nice filly. Here's Big Sumo Star. He ran 3rd on the weekend at Kembla Grange. Went quite keenly. He's been rubbing his nose, dirty nose, haven't you, boy? Went quite keenly, and by the time he straightened up, he actually didn't have much gas left. He was this race too keen. Doing a lot wrong still, this horse. I tell you, for a horse that's such a quiet horse, when he gets out them barriers, he can do a lot wrong. 2 weeks ago he hung, couldn't steer him in the straight. This week we put a bubble cheeker on, kept his head straight, went good, but come to the corner, you see the jockey just swinging, trying to hold him back behind the 2 leaders, and just choking himself down. By the time he got to the winning post, he was actually out on his feet. Ran a good 3rd. The 2 favourites beat him home though. But back to 1,300 in a couple of weeks' time at Goulburn. I think you'll see him back in distance, faster tempo. It was 1,400 last weekend. You'll see a horse that'll settle, and if he settles, hopefully he'll be winning. Hey bud, what are you looking at? Ice Cat, another son of Maurice. Beautiful big boys, had a lot of troubles, and finally got him back to barrier trials last week. Trialled really well, only beaten 4 lengths, but he's as big as a house still getting that weight off him. It's hard when you've got a horse that's had leg injuries to work them too hard at track work to have them actually tight enough to win their trial their first time back, but we're happy with it. He'll trial at the trials at Warwick Farm the 26th one more time, and if he pulls up well enough, we'll be going to the races, won't we, big fella? It's Kiss the Outcast. He's a beautiful colt by Pariah, at a Pasami Mucho. Looking forward to this preparation. He's going really well. Can trial about 2 or 3 weeks' time. He's already shown plenty of ability, and it's just been time that he's needed, and now he's ready to go. He looks enormous. I'm looking forward to the next few weeks. We start to get some real good work into him, and off the trials, and then more importantly off the races, and then the winner's circle. Hey, buddy. See? Lonraki, he's been racing super well in town lately. We're going to start him at Newcastle on Saturday, so hopefully a bit of a drop back in grade. 1200 metre race on Saturday. Been screaming out for a little bit further. He's been hitting the line very strongly at all of his runs so far back from a spell. A lot stronger horse this time through. So hopefully a drop back in grade. If he can draw a decent game, he'd be very hard to beat in the weekend. Won't you, bud? Okay. Okay, here we have Ringer Rosa, beautiful filly. Won the other day, first up at Newcastle. She charged to the line over the 900 metres, and she's pulled up really, really well. We've got her nominated for, accepted for Warwick Farm on Wednesday, and we're going to look at Saturday at Rosehill as well. She loves it wet. We're going to get pretty good condition for the week, but she did win on a dry track just recently, so it's not like she just is a wet tracker. She ran very fast time, 32 and a bit for the last 600 in winning at Newcastle over 900. On Saturday, it's a mares race over 1200 metres, so she's up against her own sex over 1200 on a bigger track. Triple the prize money, 78,000 the winner, where the horse has got, obviously some knee issues. We'll go. And so we've just got to put her in the right race. She's in at Warwick Farm on Wednesday, a girl, and drawn well. So, and it's a soft track. So the options are good there at Warwick Farm, no doubt. It's only worth 25,000 the winner. So we'll wait, just see what the weather does over the next couple of days, and that might entice us to race on the Saturday. I'd prefer to race her on Saturday myself, but we'll let the weather gods play their course. It's a good deal here. Ran an okay race last start at Wyong over 2100. Drew a good gate, but went back way too far, just settled too well. Pressure came on a long way out, lost a few lengths trying to build his revs up, which is weird because at track work he's got a great turn to foot at track work, but on race day he just grinds away. At the back end of the race, going past the post, you can see him really hit the line nicely, with a view to probably trying him over a little bit further. There's a race for him this Sunday at Musselbrook over 2300, which we'll nominate for. And the following week out at Bathurst, there's a 1000 metre race. Cameron's getting bitten by a horse here. There's a 2000 metre race from at Bathurst. So we'll look at the options and pick the best race where he's placed at, because he's racing well, but just the other day, I don't know, he's just raced a bit flat, and maybe the heavy track run before, the week before, the start before, took a little bit more out of him while he's let him on. I'm thinking about experiment with a set of blinkers as well. But he's ready to win, just got to find the right race and get him into the right position during the race, and he really does like it firm, so we've got to watch the weather as well. Hey team, here's a beautiful filly called Frosty Joe. She's a 2-year-old by Deepfield, and big strong girl she is too. Just in the process of being educated. She's one of our later types that's coming through. Beautiful mover, great temperament. She's up to barrier education at the moment, so a few weeks off a barrier trial, but she's a lovely horse, and we're hoping that she can put it together. As I said, she's by Deepfield. She's got everything in the right place. She's a later maturing type, as we thought when we bought her. She was a bit behind at the sale, but got a great pedigree, and she can really move. So hopefully this preparation will get to see her at the barrier trials, but I still think she's going to make a better 3-year-old. He's walking, talking. He's had a barrier trial and a jump out last Friday in preparation for his first run back, which will be next week, the 24th at Canterbury. The 72 benchmark over 1250. He's a benchmark 72 horse, so he'll get top weight, but we'll offset that with Julia Pressett's 3 kilo claim. So going well, the big fella. Looking forward to seeing him resume. I think he'll make it through the Saturday company this time through. A good time of the year for him. Here's Sir Maurice, beautiful chestnut colt by Morris, as you understand. He's getting his new shoes put on right now. He's got a little bandage on his leg there. He just twisted his ankle the other day at track work. It's okay, much better today, but I just keep that on there for to keep a bit of pressure on it. And he'll be back in full work again the next couple of days. Just get the new shoes on, and he looks like he's enjoying that as well. He is showing good ability in track work, but he's a real bully colt at the moment. I'm getting his mind on the job, so I'd imagine we might even give him a jump out, see how he goes, or even a trial. See how he goes, a bit more education, a bit more work into him, and we'll let him make the decision for himself. So there you have it. There's a rundown of all the horses in the stable from Elite Thoroughbreds, 15 horses in total, and hopefully plenty of winners amongst them. This weekend we're excited. We've got the open day, the 21st, Sunday, the 21st. Don't miss it. All of the horses currently in work, and 6 yearlings that the Elite Thoroughbreds syndications has bought will be on show. Should be a great day. So we'll see you on Sunday. Gates open at 10 a.m. for 10:30 parade.
Like we are late with I'm rockin', but Cosmic Cameo staves them all off. But Bring a Gem with a Gun Runner is way too good. And there's a double for James McDonald.
Straturbo just in front. It's Ribbing on it won the last. Straturbo
is coming away for a brilliant victory and goes down to beat Octane Flora and then came in third Gothraki.
Tester Shadow resuming today's a neck in front from Oxford Poet. It can't pull back the margin. Tester Shadow patiently ridden outside the leader. Here's Seeking Asylum with the last shot at them, bursting through on the outside. Oh, what a great finish. Seeking Asylum. Abdullah says, go on, Sebring Sun. And it races up to hit the lead and starts to wedge away on the Rosebud. Sebring Sun from Wild Ear and Let's Make It Rain. Regeese run home into fourth, followed then by Tatouche, then Vanbrugh from Zoo Tanada, and Can Be Bossy after leading, finish back at the tail of the field.